I'm just wondering what the org is about, because y'all are like an org, right? Like
right, organization.
Yeah.
We fight against evils of this society. So anything that's against God that the Bible teach, even Christianity, we teach against it and prove it as well. But we're having a conversation of just about like the idea about freedom, right? Just meant to, spark thought. Everybody come out here, have a voice, and just say what they believe in and why they believe it, and just what we teach. Predominantly is the Bible. That's what we teach.
So y'all teach about the Bible, right?
Not Christianity.
Not Christianity. Yeah, those two are separate. I do agree with that. So, like, in the statement that the Bible is anti-American, can I just hear your argument? Because I'm not arguing, like, I don't have an opinion. I just want to hear what, like, you have to say in particular about it.
Being an American, like we were just explaining, is white supremacy.
Right.
Meaning, like, I'm black and I'm American, and you have a white American, right? If something happened to America, right, like a terrorist attack or something like that from another race, what happens? It would be like, well, we need to go get justice.
Yeah.
Now, what if a white man do something to my community in America? What can I do?
Well, I feel as though, like, history has proven when, like, with the Black Panther movement and, like, when they try to, when Black communities try to arm themselves against the violence that they face, they are seen as terrorists within their own country. So, like, I definitely agree with what you're saying. I think the way that they demonize these communities for just trying to protect themselves is really horrible. But
yeah, so that's kind of like just one point, though. So, like, the Bible is a book that's for Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's what we teach. Everybody outside that is not who the Bible was written to. So when you go into the Bible, it's not a book that people make it seem about like all mankind, right? It would have been like, this book would have been like this big, right? But there's a history for a select group of people who happen to be Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians today.
I just have one question, which is, what is your thoughts on the fact that, like, 400 years ago, when they, got the slaves here in the U.S. and they used Christianity as a tool to kind of erase their culture and their language, and that is not only seen with the slaves that were brought here, but also with the Native Americans, with the missionaries, and other indigenous communities. Like, do you think why teach something that was used to erase these communities' cultures and language? Like, as a Latina myself, I feel disconnected from that religion because it was, used to oppress indigenous Mexican tribes in Mexico. So, like, what is your thoughts on that?
So that's actually, what I'm saying, like, why we're out here having certain discussions like this, because we're anti-Christian. We're really anti-religion.
Okay.
And in the same capacity that, like, okay, what we find is that white people are culture thieves in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
And you could see that in something even as small as they conquer the natives and then call their helicopters Apache.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is what they do. You know what I'm saying? During the Boston Tea Party, they dressed up like natives after they conquered them. You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody who hates Mexicans more than MAGA students, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? Cinco de Mayo, there's nobody more Mexican than white MAGA students. All of a sudden, they wearing ponchos and drinking Coronas, and you know what I'm saying? Because it's like they like to just devour other cultures. But what they did was they stole the Bible, and the Bible is an ancient record and document containing someone's history. It just so happens that's the history we lost. And what happens is they rebranded it. You know what I'm saying? And what they did was they used Christianity as their mascot. Like Toucan Sam from Fruit Loops, he got nothing to do with the cereal. But what they did was they pushed their garbage by using the Bible. And what you find is what's actually written inside those records is not what the Christian church does. So that's what we were talking about a moment ago. Like when you said, I think Jesus was Middle Eastern. Middle East is a direction. Middle East isn't a nationality. So Christ would actually be, if he was on the earth today, he would be like an African American.
Yeah.
The tribe of Issachar is the so-called Mexicans. Like, our people were stripped of their culture and their heritage. And what happened is we got a reverse engineered version of our book in Being Conquered. So it's almost like on the back of a dollar bill, there's an Egyptian pyramid. Why is there an Egyptian pyramid on an American dollar when there's pyramids in America? All they do is adopt other people's culture and use it to their own advantage. And that's exactly what they did with the Bible. So if you're disconnected from Christianity, you're wise. But you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater because that record belongs to us. It's just something else that they stole.
Texas was feeling unwelcome. Now Texas is an open door to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts. They do your taxes.
Well, I appreciate you explaining that for me, and I never really thought about it that way, and I hope y'all have a lovely day and stay warm.
You too.
So listening.
So what is your perspective of life?
Well,
What do you vote?
yeah,
Are you a liberal?
I lean that way. I'd say I'm a moderate. I don't agree with either extreme side.
Okay.
There's always hypocrisy, but like life itself is brutal. Life eats itself to live. Humans are very complex, and we.
So who you voted for?
Who did I vote for?
You don't mind me asking?
Not at all.
Trump?
No.
I had to make sure.
There was
man.
only two choices.
Yeah, really.
It sounded like we had a second
It
guess.
was
Like,
like,
you know, I can't say Trump right now.
the orange guy.
Not the orange guy. It is so weird. I mean, we live in like the present. We have all of history to learn from our mistakes, and look where we are today. It's not going great. I have kind of a bleak outlook on this, but some people naturally, I don't know. Just like, I think every type of person comes in all shapes, colors, and sizes. There are good and bad. You know, not every person of a certain color is either this or that.
My question for you is that when people say like all is evil people in all races,
Yeah.
do you know how many people was enslaved by the hands of white people?
Oh, ton.
Like about
Absolutely.
like what?
But that's not to say that every white person's evil.
Right. So let me ask you this: how many white people does it take to enslave like over 100 million people?
I don't really calculate things in those measures.
You'd be like, well, damn, it has to be a lot of them, huh?
It depends.
100 million. Over, genuinely like.
I'm with you. It's wild.
It's a lot. So it's okay to be like, well, damn.
If it was to classify a certain race for fucking shit up more than any other one, it would be white people, without a doubt. However, again, when you make generalizations like that, it does kind of breed thinking like white people are the devil. If I had to pick one race as kind of representing it the best, I would say this.
I don't think it's wrong because I think
it's kind of dangerous thinking like that.
I don't think it's dangerous because I think that white people at this time in 2025 should believe that white people are the devil.
You think that they should?
Yeah, especially white women too.
But I don't feel like the devil.
Probably not you, but you should. You not feeling a devil? But ask you like you just said, who's the devil? You be like, well, white people.
If I had to pick one,
you had to pick.
But having to pick one seems like dangerous thinking because it's generalized.
Safe.
It's making a generalization.
It would be
a
safe.
safer bet if I had to bet it.
If we had an argument.
But it's almost like it's not a healthy argument to even. It's not healthy to think in those terms because it does breed subconscious. Just you're judging someone based on their color. It's the same fucked up shit that white people do to think in those terms. It's kind of stupid at the same level.
Face value.
Yeah.
I think what you're saying makes sense, except if that's the case, I wouldn't be sitting next to them. We're not pro-complexion. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're pro-race, right? So what happens is, I don't think that it's not, like nobody's mad at Chinese people or calling them yellow. You know what I'm saying? I think that when it comes down to white, it is like polarizing as far as the complexion, but it's not the color of the skin. It was the caliber of the actions that was performed by said people. So I'm saying that to say this is that, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it was just complexion, I wouldn't be next to my brother right now having these conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a so-called Puerto Rican. My father's Taino Indian. He was conquered by the Spanish, enslaved, lost, you know what I'm saying, everything.
If you live in a New York zip code.
Patricia Hearst, the heiress to the media empire of the Hearst family, was kidnapped by the leftist armed group known as the SLA. 2 months later, Patricia adopted the name Tanya and joined the ranks of the SLA, participating in bank robberies. She declared herself a member of the SLA, armed herself, and even posed for photographs. After the FBI's armed confrontation with the SLA, Patricia was arrested following her year-and-a-half-long fugitive period. She faced charges of armed robbery and terrorism. Patricia shocked the United States with her statement that she was innocent because everything was an action carried out under the influence of SLA. Patricia's case became a prominent example of the phenomenon known as the Stockholm Syndrome, where hostages sympathize with or even join their captors due to brainwashing or survival instincts. In 1974, Patricia Hearst, the heiress to the media empire of the Hearst family, was kidnapped by the leftist armed group known as the SLA. 2 months later, Patricia adopted the name Tanya and joined the ranks of the SLA, participating in bank robberies. She declared herself a member of the SLA, armed herself, and even posed for photographs. After the FBI's armed confrontation with the SLA, Patricia was arrested following her year-and-a-half-long fugitive period. She faced charges of armed robbery and terrorism. Patricia shocked the United States with her statement that she was innocent because everything was an action carried out under the influence of SLA. Patricia's case became a prominent example of the phenomenon known as the Stockholm Syndrome, where hostages sympathize with or even join their captors due to brainwashing or survival instincts.
But that's how humans kind of think about things.
No, it is. So that's why I want to get past the simple argument of that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's really the track record. It's really like, you know, we didn't pop a hole in the ozone layer. We don't hunt animals to extinction. We don't have the pesticide companies that's the short. We don't run Monsanto. We don't run British Petroleum. We haven't, you know what I'm saying, created a transatlantic slave trade for one specific group of people, ripped their heritage from them, so on and so forth. But it just so happens that all those crimes fall up under the person who is described as that complexion.
Right. But then when you, I mean, I just, again, I feel like making the generalization, it's not necessarily healthy because just subconsciously you're creating a filter that is seeing things as black and white when the issue, even though it's not a balance, there's not balance here, it does subconsciously kind of create a more divided point of view and a less nuanced point of view. And it is a very nuanced situation when it comes to, you know what I mean, black and white. It's a tricky thing.
But we've already been divided. We're divided Democrat and Republican. We're divided by age. We're divided by sex. Like America's been divisive since its inception.
It's true.
There's never a time where it's been unified. And I've never seen like, to me, nature, it's natural to be divided. Like I don't see crows hanging with pigeons. You get in a microscope, there's certain amoebas that don't hang out with other amoebas. Like the same people hang with the same people. And it just so happens when we decide to mix with your culture eats us alive. It just so happens that we were stronger as a people segregated than we were integrated.
Well, it tends to be. I mean, America's also was considered to be a melting pot.
Do you have a question?
Oh, yeah.
No sweat. If you do, just know you're welcome. Good.
I mean, the beautiful idea that was never put into practice properly. America was supposed to be a place where any culture could come and be welcomed. And in many ways, no, but that was like what was, I mean, initially.
When?
Well, the whole country was taken over by immigrants, basically. There were native people here. Immigrants showed up. Not all of them came from the same source. But right now, is it just white people that exist in this country?
But what I'm saying is, okay, when the immigrants got here, the first thing that they did was eradicate either the indigenous populations, enslave them, strip them of their culture.
Right.
You understand?
Well, like today, right now.
Okay, today, right now, there's still...
Half my coworkers are from South America.
Right, and you know what happens if they don't have papers? They're getting put inside cages.
But they happily came over here to live what they think is the American dream that's still alive and well. To them, it's more alive than it is in my heart.
So what they're doing is they're trying to carve out a piece of the economy.
Exactly.
That's the opportunity that they see. But you know what? But they also have to come here and be subjected to being a second or third class citizen.
I don't disagree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have the practices of nepotism. They don't have intergenerational wealth. The actual society wasn't built to help them advance. It was built for them to chop potatoes in the kitchen.
Thanks to Restore, Prime time is back.
This is my time.
I didn't want to be bald any longer.
If you're daydreaming about,
Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. Absolutely.
Wasn't built to help them advance. It was built for them to chop potatoes in the kitchen. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. Absolutely do see what you're saying. But just the same, there is like, this is still a country where there is, it's not all a uniform. I'm not saying the powers that be. I absolutely get the people running the shit show. They are, if like, I don't know, secret, the ultra rich. I don't actually know these faces, the ones who are actually pulling strings. Because we have a puppet.
But do you know who the majority of them are?
If I had to guess, I would guess they were white.
They would be white.
Right? I would guess.
They would be white.
Totally.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's why when the United States Constitution was written, since we're talking about American and its inception, it was created under the guise that all men were created equal, but that was literally strictly for white landowners, which is why that I'm saying that when they decide to invite anybody over, they don't invite them over with the notion of partaking in that. They invite them over as workforce. They invite them over as to feast on in capitalism. And it just so happens that there's certain groups of people who are able to assimilate easier than others. But there's other groups, like, for example, Asians got an anti-hate bill passed in 2 weeks. You get me?
I do.
Like nobody's, and this is what blows my mind. Who do you think is the number one illegal immigrant in America?
The number one is in the most vilified or the most sought after?
So I guess you could go vilified or based off of, you know what I'm saying? I'm asking number wise, but who would you think in your mind, right, would be considered the number one illegal immigrants right now?
Well, pretty much South Americans.
That's what you would think, right? Yeah. Do you know it's actually Asians?
Wait, in what sense though do you mean?
In numbers, in the amount, in the percentage. And the reason why you don't know that is because the media isn't running into Chinese restaurants or even the Asians that are East Indian. They're not running into the Dunkin' Donuts. They're not running into the gas stations and putting them in cages, but they are to the South Americans and Mexicans. This is who's being targeted. So what I'm saying is that they are doing this to a specific group of people while the other people are not being targeted. And then now this also ties into the argument of you saying that we're still not divided. This country's never been unified.
I'm not saying that it's unified. I'm saying that that whether or not it's balanced or fair, there is a coexistence of many different races going on in this country. And it's not the same brutality that there used to be. It's far from perfect. The brutality might just be well disguised right now. Might still be, just as brutal in certain aspects, but this is not like, I mean, to me, the 60s was like the time when everything could have potentially gotten fixed in this country.
Well, back to you made a point about it being like the richer people, right?
Yeah.
Well, I can make an argument that it's not only like rich white people that do damage, but majority of it's poor white people.
That do damage?
That do damage. Poor white people are the people who fight rich white people's wars.
Oh, yeah.
And most of the rich white people wars are against minorities, or like black and Latinos. You ever seen who's for ICE raids? Who's like, when you close your eyes and picture a man who's mad about immigration, who you see? I'd be like a poor white man.
Yeah.
Why? Why is he mad?
Well, I mean, pretty much from what he's raised on, the beliefs that he's raised on.
But he's on the ground, and most of them, if I'm not mistaken, they go and work for ICE, right? Now, I'm gonna take it back. And you said like this time is different. It's not different because now you have ICE raiding Home Depot, things like that, right?
This is true. This is
right. And
this is
right when you go raid Home Depot, the Mexicans over there, why they at Home Depot? They there because they're trying to get the tools to build somebody else's house, right? Now, rewind back into slavery, right? The Civil War. Who was the majority class that fought the Civil War in the South?
Well, white people.
White people.
Yeah.
Poor white people.
Yeah.
Which majority of them, because white people always want to tell me this, did not even own slaves. So why would a white man who can't own a slave because he's so poor fight for slavery? Because you do realize slavery was the reason why he was poor, because the slaves was working for free, right? So why would a poor white man go and fight for something he can't partake in?
the potential that he can partake in it.
The potential. So now in 2025 is the exact same story.
It's similar, but it's not the same.
It is, because who controls if a white man gets a job or not? Is it immigrants?
Who controls? I'm so sorry. Say it again.
Like back then, like we think about slavery, right? Slavery, the point I made about slavery, fast forward now, right? If in the poor white man's mind, he believes that the immigrants is the reason why he don't have a job, right?
Right.
Do you believe that to be true?
Like, who's in control of the hiring?
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I
my
absolutely. I don't agree with that.
But they doing damage because the ones who's capturing them at Home Depot is who? The ones working for ICE.
Right.
It's like Trump. Trump is never going to lay his foot in the ghetto. He's never going to lay his foot at Home Depot or Mexican communities. However, he's going to send poor white people to do it.
Totally.
So it's not just the rich white people, it's poor white people who's harming people too.
No, it's true. I mean, it's a system built around fear, and the money speaks more than anything else. And the people running the show, pretty much. I mean, I think a lot of people at some point are going to be put in a position with their job where they might do something that they disagree with, but the risk is they're going to lose their job if they don't. And that's.
I think you're an idealist. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, just from the conversation, like, you had, like, your initial statement where you spoke about freedom and being an American. You said, well, I believed in the ideologies that they created, but not necessarily the actions that they did. And you could have all the ideas and the notions that you want, but at the end of the day, what someone thinks is not as meaningful as what someone does. What someone says doesn't mean shit if their actions don't match it. So you could have those hopes and those dreams, but we live in reality.
It's true.
And in the reality.
Are you researching dental implants?
There's a lot of dental offices that'll talk about doing their teeth in a day process. A lot of times what they mean is they'll do the surgery and give you some sort of teeth the next day, but those teeth are not permanent teeth. They're temporary teeth that you wear while you're healing.
In the old way, you would get a set of acrylic or temporary material teeth that gets screwed right onto the implants.
In reality, you're getting, let's say, a converted denture, these small day teeth that you get to.
We are divided. We have been oppressed, and it's by one specific group of people, which is why when we had that conversation of, if we were, even you yourself said, well, if I had to label anybody,
it's true.
I would think white people are the devil too.
There's nothing false about me saying that.
Good too.
But I do just think the generalizations are a dangerous thing.
But I don't think it is, though, because I think you're speaking from somebody who have been a victim. Like, if I sit here and seen what white people have done to my people, I'll be wrong and say, well, damn, I gotta watch out for that. Take a lion and a gazelle. Is a gazelle wrong for seeing a lion like, hey, yo, I gotta get out of here?
Of course not.
Like, why not, though? Why is he judging the lion simply for being a lion?
But that is purely nature. We have the intelligence to distinguish, our nature.
We can argue that.
I mean, even the fact every single person's skin cell under a microscope is brown.
It's not
white
about
people to black people.
We're not talking about the color of the skin. We're talking about the content of the character.
Right.
So if you know take it off of nature. Why do gazelles run when they see a lion?
Because they represent danger to them.
Because what if lions didn't attack gazelles? What, you think a gazelle would run?
It would change. Yeah, I don't think it would run. It's ingrained in their nature. That's what happens.
So the only reason why we'd be right and not to generalize somebody, if that people stop harming another people, then we'd be right. But as far as we can say in 2025, that didn't change.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like domestic animals, I think it's around 25 generations. You have to put an animal in domestic captivity before it stops naturally biting you. That's what we did with dogs. Now we have pet dogs.
That's heavy.
But it's like
after 25 generations to change somebody's nature.
You can change nature, absolutely. And I think you can go both directions.
But you have to domesticate them first.
I think you guys did it in less generations with us.
I think what you just said, you guys. This is what I mean by the general.
Here's what I'm saying, right?
That's exactly what I have a problem with.
We have to generalize. It's kind of like, and I know you wanted to say something, so I'm gonna let you in a second. But like, I think that I don't agree with Islam, right? But when Muhammad Ali said something, he said something extremely wise. He said if there was 10,000 snakes coming down a hill, and there was 1,000 snakes that were good snakes that wouldn't bite you out of the 10,000, would you weed out through the snakes to try to find out, or would you close the door and protect yourself from all the snakes?
I got you.
That's what you would do.
Right.
And if this was like a small isolated thing, I would say, yeah, those those isolated incidents, you know what I'm saying, do not characterize how we could look at an entire group.
Right.
But when we look through world history and American history, right, the track record for your people is horrendous. And I think that we would be unwise as a people to not generalize.
Patricia Hearst, the heiress to the media empire of the Hearst family, was kidnapped by the leftist armed group known as the SLA. 2 months later, Patricia adopted the name Tanya and joined the ranks of the SLA, participating in bank robberies. She declared herself a member of the SLA, armed herself, and even posed for photographs. After the FBI's armed confrontation with the SLA, Patricia was arrested following her year-and-a-half-long fugitive period. She faced charges of armed robbery and terrorism. Patricia shocked the United States with her statement that she was innocent because everything was an action carried out under the influence of SLA. Patricia's case became a prominent example of the phenomenon known as the Stockholm Syndrome, where hostages sympathize with or even join their captors due to brainwashing or survival instincts. In 19
All right, Dwight, I appreciate that. We'll go live on Facebook. 3, 1. Most High Christ, we live on Facebook. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakatah to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Adam Bashim Yahshua to the sisters. I'm preaching officer Parak as I hold the class now for priest and officer 1000 Sha'ar. The water for let me hold the law class down for you. This is the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Human School Practical Knowledge, started off for 1 West 120th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Hall. It's in 1969. We've been teaching the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. They are God's chosen people according to the Bible. Let's clap it up for the Most High. And once again, let's clap it up for our King, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, for being the example. For being an example that's coming off the block, that's coming with with an unaliving is happening, when the gun violence and the drugs and the whoredom and the whoremongers, well, all negativity is happening, and a great man came out of that. Priest. Right. A great man, but somebody painted him not like us, not like his kind. They took over his kind. This is the reason why this Bible, you know what I'm saying? This Bible is only written to one nation of people. You notice the Israelites always said, I don't want you to serve my God. You serve your own God, because I know I got the real God. Because your God is fake. Your God is a piece of stone or a piece of wood. And when you get a chance, Baba Kishar, get that scripture. No, it's even in the one that you want to pick, even one in Jeremiah or Deuteronomy. I think Deuteronomy 28 and 45.
Wood and stone?
Yeah, wood and stone.
28th chapter.
Yeah. So blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. But we want to celebrate that wood and stone. The title of the class is Israelites, God's chosen. Think not that I am come to destroy the law. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Who told us that the law is destroyed? That means the law is done away with. Unlawful acts is being done. But people will say, no, you gotta have a law. Okay, you gotta have a law. Why are you not going to celebrate the Feast of Purim if we gotta have the law? You want to pick and choose what the law is. So you want to go over the head of the Most High God. You want to follow the philosophy of Roman and Greek philosophy, huh? That's what you want to do. You want to change the Sabbath to Sunday, huh? That's what you want to do. You want to celebrate Christmas, huh? And say that, you know, that's Jesus' birthday, but God's also birthday. You know, they say God have a birthday if Jesus is the Most High God.
Right.
Oh man, I'm going to use that. I'm going to say, oh, if Jesus' birthday is on December 25th, what birthday is the Most High God is? Most High God got a born day? That's what you try to tell me? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We are following behind an oppressor.
Right.
We are following behind Donald Trump.
Right.
We are following behind George Washington. And we all follow behind. Guess what we also follow behind? Bootlicking Negroes. Bootlicking Latinos. Yo, please check this out. And I started thinking about Latinos. They call Mexicans Latinos. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Right.
But Latin is Italian.
Right.
So where did the Latin part comes in? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, when Latina, when did you become a female Italian? You don't even speak Latin. You speak Spanish. Latin is from where? Greek and Italian.
Right.
Or Greek and Rome. You know our oppressor did did a number on us. Who we did a number on us, please.
Right.
Matter of fact, I know that you pulled that on the scatter, but get Israel what was it the donkey know his master, but Israel don't consider.
Oh.
I'm gonna write that down also myself. What I had in my notes. Oh, sign Christ. For Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we don't consider that we Yasha Allah. We don't consider that we Israel. We don't consider, you know what I'm saying? We don't consider that we Maya Shah. We don't consider that we Maya Shah. Manessa. We don't consider that we Asher. We don't consider that. We don't consider that. We don't consider that we lawyer. We don't consider that Levites, Haitians. Oh man. We don't consider that we Shammai Yun. We don't consider that we Shammai Yun. Simeon. We don't consider that. Father Kishar, can you read that?
Go on.
All right. Oh, no, the next one. Oh, yeah, that one right there. Just blow it up.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
The ox knoweth his owner.
Say that again.
The ox knoweth his owner.
This animal had been on a farm for years. For years. You know what I mean? The farmer come out, feed the ox, tend to the ox. You know what I'm saying? Help the ox to get birth. Do all these good things to the ox. So the ox know once they see that farmer come out, the ox knoweth his owner. The ox know his owner.
Right.
Because the owner's doing what? Taking care of that ox, right? Protecting the ox, right? To make sure no wolves touch the ox. to make sure no oppressors touch the ox. Make sure no poachers touch the ox. So the ox know where his owner, read on. In the what?
In the ass, his master's crib.
Oh, in the donkey. Knowing his master, you know what his master do, priest? His master feed him.
Right.
His master give him clothing. His master protect him from anybody who want to harm him. The donkey know this. It says the ass, which is a donkey, his master's crib. Know when, you know what I mean? Know when to stop to get food. Know when to, you know what I mean? Know where the borderline is at. Because outside of that borderline of the master's house or the master's crib, it's going to be danger. Now, this is a metaphor for Yasha'Allah, for the 12 tribes of Israel, who are so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, and indigenous Negro descendants. You know?
But Israel doeth not know.
Say that again.
But Israel doeth not know.
Say that again.
But Israel doeth not know.
But Yasha'Allah, Israel, doeth not know what?
My people doeth not consider.
We don't consider that we God's chosen people. You know what we say? We are heathens. We are other nations. Speaking exactly how the tribe of Reuben was living in amongst of the Greeks and the Romans. You know that, right? That's what happened. The same way that we're talking about in 2026, the same way that we're talking about in 1995, the same way that we're talking about in 1985, the same that we're talking about in 1975, the same way that we're talking about in 1965. We're not God's people. We are a bunch of heathens. Then then the school 4 years later came out and said, no, you are God's chosen. This is the reason why you have replacement. Right. That's how the white man could replace the Israelites. That's why you got a white Jesus. That's why black people say, hey, color doesn't matter. If color doesn't matter, why the white man made a white Jesus? My people don't consider. My family members don't consider when I told them that you are Yasha'Allah, you are God's chosen people. They get upset over there, priest. Oh, they get upset. You know they cry? They cry. You try to tell me that I'm better than a Chinese person? Yes, I am trying to tell you that because you're God's chosen people. Chinese people never had the oracles of God, according to this Bible. That's the reason why you are a Kodash. That's the reason why you are a separate people. That's the reason why you have standards. But our people don't consider. How we became the face of whoredom. Whoredom! I'm watching Netflix. I'm watching what is these other free apps, Pigeon. All these free apps. We have our sisters whoring out their bodies. Pigeon. And acting all, yes, you know what I mean, girlfriend, and all this mess. and acting like a goddamn, you know what I mean, slut, like she don't have no goddamn class. And our sister's willing to make that, oh, it's only entertainment. Entertainment to who? You see what I'm getting at, Priest? Entertainment to whom? So this is only a job, and your job is to act like a whore. Your job is every time when somebody who look like you act like the way that you looking like on this goddamn commercial. Why? Why? Because Israel don't consider who they are. Israel want to go along to get along.
What you're bringing out is so heavy. This scripture right here, this is a very extremely deep scripture. You understand? In essence, the Most High is really dissing the children of Israel. Why? Because he's comparing us to he's comparing us to two of the most slowest and stubborn and rebellious animals, creatures, right? For instance, the ox and the ass, which is a donkey, they're known to be stubborn. You understand? You gotta move the donkey, you gotta push the donkey in order to go. After a while, it does its work. You understand? But within all that, even though the ox and the donkey is two stubborn and slow animals, they know who to return to. You understand? They know who feeds them. They know who shelters them. They know their masters. You understand? But on the other hand, when it comes to Black, Hispanic, and Native North American Indians, we don't want to even consider who our master is, which is the Most High.
That's right.
Yeah, we're stubborn. We're slow, just like the ox, just like the donkey. We're stubborn. We're slow. We don't want to get it together. We're rebellious. But the difference is, we don't return to the Most High. We turn to the other gods. We turn to the other nations and their gods and their philosophies. We turn to Christianity. We turn to Islam. You understand? We turn to Egyptology. So in essence, this scripture right here is comparing us to two of the most rebellious animals, but yet they know who their master is. Salaki.
Oh, matter of fact, read verse 4. It goes in deep because you right on point, Priest. You right on point. You know what I mean? Because this is back then.
Right.
Baba Kishar, read on book, chapter, and verse. What is this book, chapter?
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4.
Say that again?
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4.
One more time for the people who say that the Old Testament is done away with and this scripture is done away with.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4. Read on.
Oh, sinful nation.
And what?
Sinful nation.
Say that again.
Sinful nation.
Wait, hold up. Now, this is the catch right here. And this is what we need for everybody to put in their notes. And if you read this right here, our sinful nation in the Hebrew, guess what the nation gonna say? Goyim. They're gonna say Goyim, which means nation. You understand? And we know that nation is calling who? Yasha Allah. Israel, what? A Goyim. Nation. Because Goyim only means nation. You know, if you translate that in the Greek, you know what they're going to say, Priest? What is that word going to say in the Greek if they translate? Do you know?
So I can,
it says right there, a sinful nation. If they transpose this Hebrew in the Greek, what that word going to be in the Greek when it says nation? Want me to tell you? Gentile. You know what we're going to say? Greek. Because Gentile only means Greek. I mean, only means nation. You understand what I'm saying? So if they're telling in the context, we know they're talking about Yasha'Allah, Israelites, right? And it said, a sinful nation, a sinful Gentile, a sinful heathen, a sinful heathen. Somebody who's acting like another nation. Somebody acting like a Greek. Somebody acting like a Roman. Somebody acting like a Gentile. Somebody acting like somebody else. Not like Yasha'Allah. This is, you gotta, this is what, and you gotta realize, nobody is not going to think about this cut right here. This is a cut. You understand what I'm saying, sir?
God.
Oh, slide. Because right here, we know that we're talking about who? Israelites, right? You try to tell me when it said nation right here, do it means the Israelites? Or do it means the Moabites? Do it means everybody? Do it mean whosoever? What do this mean right here? Israel was called a sinful nation of a sinful Goyim. You see how settled that this is? Matter of fact, because this is the lower class. This is the lower class. Baba Kashar. What is it? Matthews. When he said, if a brother trespass against thee, let me look it up right now. When a brother trespass against thee, was it 18 and 15? Matthew was 18 and 15. If I'm mistaken. Got my notes. Yeah,
1850.
Oh, I was right, 18 and 15, right? Matthews, right?
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15.
Oh, right. I am right. I see it right there in my notes. Make it bigger. Baba Kashar, can you read that?
Come on, God.
Oh, wait. Hold up. And I want you to also break this down. You know what I mean? And start off like, who's saying this? And who, you know what I'm saying? Who this person saying it to? Baba Kashar.
You want me to break it down?
Yes. Tom.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother trespass against thee, this is Christ talking, go and tell him in his fault between thee and him alone. Christ is commanding. If you got a problem with your brother, you go to that brother alone, rather than go and gossip and tell it to another man. You understand? To put an evil spirit in that man's mind against that brother. If he shall hear thee, so if this brother that trespassed against you acknowledge you and hear you out, thou hast gained thy brother. Thou hast gained thy brother, which means now y'all make peace between each other. He says sorry. He admitted his mistake. Now, the brother, now there's no strife between that brother. You understand? There's no guns being pulled out. There's no knives being pulled out. There's no assaulting. You have gained thy brother.
If I may, is this a Chinese brother?
This is a Chinese brother?
Yeah. What about is this the African brother? You know what I'm saying? What about this is a Joe Biden? He's my brother. We both in the same church. You see how deep that it gets? That's what I'm talking about. What brother is this? Hey, you go into the Christian church, any Christian church, they would call you what? Brother, right? If you go into the Catholic Church, that priest and Captain Tazayak, priest and Captain Katazar was battering, did they call us their brother? And they underneath the the umbrella of Catholicism. So what brother that Yahweh Shai is talking about? What brother that Jesus Christ is talking about? Because these letters are in red. Yahweh Shai. You go ahead.
That brother got to be a brother of Israel, because in Matthew chapter 15, verse 24, Christ said, go to the Lord sheep of the house of Israel, not the house of the Moabites, the house of the Edomites.
Damn right.
The house of the Ishmaelites.
Oh man, yeah, dig the hills in. Just dig the hills in. Dig the hills. So no, matter of fact, say their names of today.
The Edomites would be the East Indians.
You goddamn right.
The Moabites would be the Chinese. The Ammonites would be the Japanese. The what is that?
No, I don't mean dig, but that you say it like that. You keep it practical.
I want to say that. Who's the Ishmael.
Akim. What they call it? What they say is, yo, serve me a chopped cheese. What they call them? What they say? Akim, huh? Aki. It's not my goddamn Aki.
Right.
Just make me the chopped cheese, please. We just conducting business. See, and that's what the Israelite School and Union School Practical Knowledge, ISUPK, teach our people. Not get emotional attached to your goddamn enemy.
Right.
No. You be respectful, because we're going to teach these other nations how to be respectful. Ishmael, can you please make my chopped cheese? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You see what I'm getting at? That's not my goddamn brother. He's not my brother. He's just a person that I'm conducting business with. Go ahead, please.
Right. Bringing up is so heavy because, I observe, when Jake in the store, when I'm in the store, Jake, they start getting friendly and playful. You understand? And in return, they start getting playful, but then their playful start to turn into disrespect. Start calling you out your name. You understand? I've seen that so many times. Just keep it business-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Please, thank you. I ask for what I want. I give you the money. I'm out. Shalom.
That's right. That's right. But keep on reading, Baba Kashar, because remember what I was saying about Goyim. It said, a sinful nation. What sinful nation? Israel is a sinful nation. It's a sinful Gentile. It's a sinful Goyim. It's a sinful heathen. They acting like these other goddamn nations. They acting like they don't, they acting like they never heard of Yahweh. They acting like they never had a power that took them out of Egypt. They're acting like that. So it says it right here. More so, we got Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. More so over. If thy brother shall trespass against you, if thy brother shall sin or break a law against you, against thee, you Israelites, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. Nobody around. Nobody not on the internet, priest.
Right.
Nobody's on the internet. They're on the phone together, just to him and that person. If he shall hear thee, if the person who trespass against you hear you, because you told him or told her, you sin against me. You did wrong against me. You know what they always talk about? Oh, you trying to turn that around. I'm coming to you because you did me wrong. Now they try to make you feel bad because they did you wrong. What kind of, see, this is the America thing that say no good deed go on unpunished. Good guys finish last. You take my kindness for weakness. You see what I'm saying, priest?
Oh,
That's that right there. It says it right here. If your brother, you know what I mean? If a so-called African American, if a so-called Venezuelan, a so-called Puerto Rican, a so-called Dominican, a so-called North American Indian, a so-called Guatemalan, a so-called Brazilian, if he shall hear thee, if he shall hear what? If he shall hear a so-called Haitian, if he shall hear a so-called Jamaican, if he shall hear a so-called what? Guatemalan or Dominican, thou have gained thy brother. We have reached our brother because he heard you, because he realized that, oh man, I did something wrong. I should never say that I should never say that to you. I should never disrespect you that way. You my brother, you my kind. You know what I'm saying? This Blanquito have been lying to me for centuries, and I realized he's a goddamn liar, and you just coming to me as a brother who also was conquered by these disgusting bastards. And we came off the boat together. You speak English, I speak Spanish, but people call me Spanish, but nobody call it African American English. You never notice that?
Right.
Why ain't we call English? That's what we always say. Joe Biden and Donald Trump is the devil, what the Bible speaks of.
Right.
Read on, please.
Go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Oh no, you could because I read that, you could read verse 16.
Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
So now it says in verse 16, because just remember the previous scripture that we was reading. Papa Gashar, just go to that previous scripture and say, sinful nation. Here we go right there.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 4. Sinful nation.
Go on.
A people laden with iniquity.
Go on.
A seed of evildoers. Children that are corrupters.
Go on.
They have forsaken the Lord.
Go on.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
Go on.
They are gone away backward.
So now this is who? Isaiah. This is centuries ago. This is in where? This is in the Israelites, history book, right? Isaiah the prophet. Now we're going to go into the New Testament with our King, Yahweh Mashiach, what he said. Because it says, right, even Isaiah said, a sinful nation, who is Yahshua, who is Israel, a people blended, you know what I'm saying, blended with iniquity, doing all types of, don't want brotherhood, don't want sisterhood, get mad at you when you come into them and you say, yo, you trespass against me. They don't hear you, priest. They don't hear a goddamn thing what you say. Guess who was talking about the same thing? Isaiah.
Right.
Then we fast forward where? To our king, the example. Now he have to give us a refreshing course. You see what I'm saying, Breeze? He had to give a refreshing course, but guess what he's doing? The same refreshing course that Isaiah did. He's doing exactly the same thing. Because guess why? Because everybody was on one accord. Everybody, the same way that ISUPK, you will get exactly the same breakdown. It doesn't matter if you're in Yonkers, doesn't matter you're in Brooklyn, doesn't matter you're in the Bronx, doesn't matter you know what I'm saying? You're in Texas. You're gonna get the same breakdown of this. Because we all speak the same thing, the way Jesus Christ speak the same thing of his God. Everybody's on one accord.
Right.
Everybody's on one accord. Saying the same thing. He's refreshing our people, how dirty they are. But guess who's being more brotherly about it? Yahweh Shah He being more brotherly. He said, yo, check this out, man. Yo, if your brother, you know what I'm saying, your brother did something against you, man, yo, you can go to him, man, alone. Don't bring all your mans and them together. Don't bring your family members together. Just have you and him talk over some good strong. And let him know, like, yo, man, you was hurt. That wasn't cool what you did. And if that brother realize that what's going on and understand the Lord's statute commandments and understand Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17 and 18, understand, you know what I'm saying, Exodus, understand the entire Bible, the entire Torah, he will hear you and you will gain that brother. Now he's your best friend.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because now you can rely on him. Now you take things in consideration and understand, like, oh man, yeah, maybe I did something dirty to this brother because he's stepping to me hardcore. And he's a good brother right there. And guess what that brother is on top of everything? Guess what that brother is? The brother that went to the brother who trespassed. And that if that brother who did a trespassing realized the situation, guess what he realized on top of everything? He is Yasha Allah. He's a Kodash man. He's his kinfolks. You see how big it is? Oh man, this is my brother. What the hell I'm doing? You know what I mean? He's God's chosen. The same way that David treated what? Saul. You want to touch God anointed? Because it doesn't make it okay for somebody to be anointed, and Yasha Allah have been anointed by the Most High God. Everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody in the nation of Israel have been anointed by the Most High God, because we are his chosen people. So who is you to touch the guy anointed? Who is you to not forgive the guy anointed? That was to remind the people of the guy anointed, the Israelites, that who we are and what happened in the past. Right. So when your brother trespassing, because this is, remember, your priest, this is real world, this is practical.
Right.
Your brother gonna do something that make you upset.
Right.
Don't sweat. This is real world. Everything ain't gonna be juices and berries. It's not. That's the reason why we got the example, to remind the brother who did the trespassing, and to remind the brother who got trespassed against. It's two guy anointed talking.
Right.
Did you see what I'm talking about? It's two guys anointed talking about. So guess what's gonna happen? I come to that brother and say, you trespass against me. That brother understands, say, oh man. You know what I'm saying? I know the brother didn't mean it, so I'm going, you know what I mean? I'm going to take the higher role and go to that brother because he is guy anointed also. So why not he don't deserve my forgiveness? Why not he don't know? He's got anointed. If we repent, and once he repents, guess what that brother, you know what I mean? That brother that trespassed against me, get a treasure. You know what the treasure is? Brother.
What?
Motherhood. Fatherhood. Aunthood. Unclehood. That's what happens. You could go back to Matthews.
Okay.
So I'm breaking down. Let me see. Okay, 8:19. Beautiful. So I'm breaking down what in Jesus' words. I gotta say it like that, so for teaching purposes. His name is Yahushua Mashiach, but ignorant called Jesus Christ. This is his words, talking about if a brother trespass against you, your brother's only your kind. And I know that we live in the world, right? We live in this world right here. Because the Christian church had corrupted everybody's mind and made confusion and think everybody, if you're a Christian, if you from England and another person is from the Congo and y'all both follow Christianity, y'all are brothers. Right. That's what Christianity, that's not confusion what it is. If you're from Norway, if you're from a white person from Norway and you're a black person from, from Detroit, Michigan, and both y'all are Christian and came up in the same Christian church, y'all are brothers and sisters. No. No! It don't go down like that. It don't go down like that. The Most High God separate the nations. Come on. You believe in Christmas and the other person don't believe in Christmas, but both y'all Christians? How the hell did that happen?
Right.
You believe in about to celebrate Valentine's Day. A naked baby. This is how disgusting that this country is. A baby got to be naked so you can see love. You know that's for pedophiles, right? Right. Pedophiles love to look at naked babies, or pederasties, or people, or NAMBLA. An organization in America that want to legalize pederasties.
Right.
It's not too far because that's the LGBTQ community.
Right.
They try to disown themselves from it, but we all know because it's all about what? Their preference. Right? Their preference. The LGBTQ community trespass against God's people.
Right.
Donald Trump trespassed against God's people. And when we went to them and said that you did us wrong, you did us wrong. Right. So when it says it right here, when they it says verse 15, but if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one. If he not going to hear, you can't have men loving men and women loving women. That is wrong. That's not God's rules. That's our oppressors' rules, but that's not God's rules. Right. And you are Israelites, and we have standards.
Right.
We don't go along to get along. We go along because the Most High God says this.
That's right.
We don't go according to what our heart says. If it was up to me, I love to make love with a lot of women with no responsibility, and I would not give them babies. when they want the babies. But it's not up to me, right? Because I gotta follow the Most High God.
Right.
I gotta get that woman babies because God said so. I can't be selfish.
Right.
But I want to make love to all of them, priest. No responsibility.
Right.
So that, but if he will not hear you, thee, then take with you one or more what? Who is the one or more what? Everybody, you know what I mean? We got to break down the scripture right here. And keep it practical and keep it understanding of what we're talking about. What happened if a brother don't hear you come to that brother or sister or that community and say, yo, you trespass against me if they don't hear you? Who are you? Who is the one or the two more? Let's see who's in the chat. If there's anybody in the chat, just all right, just so who you think, priest? Who you think is the one or the two more? I think somebody's at the door.
The one or two more would be a brother of your same nation and nationality, another Israelite brother or sister. Another brother. Well, also, you know what I'm saying, when it deals with sisterhood, if a sister get into with another sister, she can also bring another sister.
Mm-hmm. And this will be a prestige brother or sister. Now, preferably, it will be the priest of the Lord. Oh, no, because I heard somebody knock on it.
Right.
It would be a priest of the Lord. It would be, you know what I'm saying, priest officer of 1,000 shah. It would be priest officer of 1,000 paratasa. It would be priest, and you know what I mean, priest and officer Ashayala. And and we would make sure that we called on the generals. We would make sure that we called on the captain. We make sure we called on the people who's over your regions.
Right.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Those perfect counsels. Because clearly you try to handle it yourself, it didn't work out. So now we need people who's used to that. And this is the what? This is the cheat code right here. This is the open book test. How we would solve Bloods and Crips. How we would keep the law, statute, command. How we would stop eating pork. Let me see, two or more. Read on that in.
Oh, God. That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established.
Every what?
Every word may be established.
Every word that came out of your mouth came out of the person who got trespassed against. And every word that came out of the person who's not trying to hear you that did the trespass. Read on.
Oh, God. Verse 17. And if he shall neglect to hear them.
Say that again.
And if he shall neglect to hear them.
And if he refused to hear them, who's the them? The counselors, the priests, and the prophet of the Lord. Right. The priest and the prophet of ISUPK. Priest and Captain Tazaya. Priest and General Mahimama. Priest and Commander General Yohana. How? When they hear you, you refused it, huh? You refuse your brothers. You refuse your nation. Read on.
Oh, my God. Tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man.
Say that again.
Let him be unto thee as a heathen man.
You know what that word is in Greek? Gentile. It just, the translators decided to say this heathen. So Jesus Christ said, if he don't want to follow the laws and statutes and commandments of a trespass, hold up, Baba Kishar. Pull up the how many scriptures we got up?
2 others.
2 others, all right. Take one of those YouTubes down. Pull yeah, take that down. Take that down. Pull up another book, chapter, and verse. Go to 1 John. Go to the classic. 1 John chapter 5, verse 3.
Oh, okay.
Go to 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. Let's try to realize what a trespass is. A trespass is. We don't.
1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
Matter of fact, go to what is it? That's 1 John 3. Let's go Slovakia. Go to 1 John, I think 3 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. 3 and 4. 4 and 3. This is the whoever committed sin. Whoever committed sin, trespassing the law.
1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committed sin.
Say that again.
Whosoever committed sin.
Say that again.
Whosoever committed sin.
Whosoever committed sin, read on.
Transgresseth also the law.
Oh, say that again.
Transgresseth also the law.
Broke it also the law. If your brother trespassed against you, if your brother broke the law against you, if your brother committed sin against you, trespasses the law. Read on.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
For what?
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So let's go back to if your brother don't hear you, if your brother don't hear the counselors, you bring them in front of the church. You bring them in front of the nation. With other priests and prophets who outrank them. You see what I'm saying, priests? Who outrank them and let them hear the manner. And still you don't want to listen. Still a woman want to dress like a man. Still a man want to dress like a woman. Still you want to sell drugs. Still you want to be a blood in the crib. Still, you know what I mean? You want to make whores out of your sisters. What did Yahweh Shah say? Read it 17 again.
The law of God. Matthew chapter 18, verse 17. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church.
Tell what?
Tell it unto the church.
Say that one more time, please.
Tell it unto the church.
You know another word for church? Congregation. You know what I'm saying? The house of Israel. Tell it to the church, because where does Christ was at? Christ was in what? Jerusalem. You know.
But if he neglect to hear the church.
But what?
But if he neglect to hear the church.
And sloppy priest, who neglect to hear the church?
The children of Israel.
The children of Israel. The person who's sinning. The person who trespass against his brother. The person who do not want to be a sister. The person who don't want to be, you know what I mean, who don't want to be a brother. Who don't want to be a mother or father or aunt or cousin. A play cousin. They don't want to be that, priest.
Right.
They refuse to hear people of God. Because remember what I said? if that brother hear you, he realize I'm talking to my kind, and my kind is the people of God.
Right.
But what happens if the brother don't hear you? What happens if the sister don't hear you? What happens if the mother don't hear you? She don't see you as the people of God anymore. So if they don't see us as the people of God, now it's time to do what? You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Oh God, let him be unto thee as an heathen man.
Now, oh, you treating us like we ain't the people of God? We did the law, statutes, and commandments, right?
Right.
We went through all the protocols, right? And you don't look at us as God's chosen people, but we look at you as God's chosen people and get you all willing to see your faults. But you don't look at us as God's chosen people, huh? You don't look at God's anointed, huh? So you want to be treated like another nation, huh? Because you acting like another. If you acting like another nation, what Jesus Christ told him to do?
Let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican.
And a Republican. A heathen man and a Republican. That's what Jesus Christ said. Am I right? Bible Kishar, you could drop that. Go back to the title and just read the title.
Oh God, Israelites, God's chosen, think not that I am come to destroy the Lord.
Think not that I am come to destroy the Lord. Israelites. Our king just finished telling us, if we trespass, if we break the law against our brother or sister, treat them like the other nation. So think about this, priest. Yeah, I'm giving one of my my debate tactics too on the low. I'm about to say one of my debate tactics on the low. On the low. Hold on. But matter of fact, I give it to you, priest. It's all good. Now, that scripture that we were just at in Matthews, that's one of my debate tactics. To say, you know what I mean, that Christ came from everybody and salvation's for everybody. Now, he just said, if you don't want to follow the Lord's statute commandments, if you trespass against your brother, treat him like another nation. But I thought God came from every nation. Treat him like a heathen. But I thought God came for the heathens. He's calling Israelites heathens. He calling Israelites heathens. That's the cut right there, priest. Where in the Bible that, you know what I'm saying, they calling Israelites Gentiles or heathens? Right there. The lost sheep of the house of Israel. Who's the lost sheep? The person, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The other Israelites who didn't want to keep the commandments. So I went to those Israelites, and guess who still didn't want to keep the commandments? The Israelites that was in Jerusalem. Right. When I went to him and I told him about his trespasses against me, he refused to hear me.
Right.
So what did we do? What did the congregation do? What did the church do? We treat him like a what? A Gentile.
Right.
But he's an Israelite, right? We treat him like a heathen, but he's an Israelite, right? That's what we do. Bible Kashar. And because we're going to stay in the New Testament. Go to Matthew chapter 5, verse 1. Chapter 5, verse 1. It should have been already up there already. You see Matthew's 5 and 17.
5 and 1, so.
Yeah, 5 and 17. Yeah, 5 and 1. Because we're gonna read down to 7. We're gonna read down to 18 anyway. So it's all good.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 1. And seeing a multitude, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him.
So, priest, who is this talking about? Who is this talking about? It says, right, it said Matthew chapter 5, verse 1. And I want everybody to understand this right here. And seeing the multitude, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciple came unto him. Who is this right here? Who went up into the mountain and seeing the multitude and looking over? Who's looking over the multitude? The multitude of who? And who's the he? Went up into the mountain. Who's the he in the scripture? And when he, who is the he, was set, when he was established on that mountain, his disciple came unto him. Who's the disciples? Who is his? And who's the disciples? You want to break that down? Prince?
That he is Christ.
The he is Christ. Who's the multitude? And seeing the multitude.
The multitude is the children of Israel that were gathered together.
You got them right. You know what I mean? And it says it right here. His disciples is that.
His disciples is talking about Peter, John, his crew.
You got them right. His crew. That's what I'm talking about. His crew. His mansion. He's up, you know what I mean? They went up on the stage with him. They went up on the stage with him. That was his what they call it on one of the rappers. They have their entourage. Their entourage. But these is men of God. Read on.
Well, verse 2. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying.
Wait, say that again.
And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying.
And who is the he?
Yahushua
opened his mouth and taught them, saying, read.
Verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit.
Say that again.
Blessed are the poor in spirit.
Say that once again, please.
Blessed are the poor in spirit.
And we have to say this because when did the American Constitution say, blessed is the poor in spirit? Blessed is the poor in spirit. Never. Read on.
For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Say what?
For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
For there is even though you're poor, you will have the kingdom of heaven. Oh, folks. You see the compassion? You see the compassion for his people? The reminder, the example of how we're supposed to treat one another. The law. The law.
Oh, God. Verse 4. Blessed are they that mourn.
Say that again.
Blessed are they that mourn.
I'm crying all day because I'm looking at my mother who's strung out on drugs. I'm crying all day because I'm looking at my father who's strung out on drugs. I'm crying all day because my friend who live in 1C selling my father drugs. When can I be blessed? Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Can anything good come out of the Bronx? Staten Island? Strathmore, Detroit? Compton? Louisiana, 5th Ward. The Most High God hears your mourn. Blessed are they that mourn. You know?
For they shall be comforted.
Say that again.
For they shall be comforted.
For they shall be comforted. For they shall be comforted. The mourning, the people who's mourning. I'm mourning. My people out there is mourning. Mexicans is mourning. Dominicans is mourning. Damn, Venezuelan is mourning to the umpty power right now. But we will be comforted. Venezuela have oil to give America the middle finger and say, no, I'm going to share with my other brothers here. I'm going to nationalize this. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? If we got to conduct business, but I'm going to make sure my people eat first. You know, they can say that. If they was under Precinct Commander Junior about brotherhood, because you know, our nation comes first. Brotherhood comes first. Forgiveness comes first. Read on.
Okay. Verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
Say that again.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
A lot of people don't know what the meek mean. Papa Chuck, can you look that up? Blessed is the meek. According to the Bible. Look what the word meek means in the Bible. It says right there.
Meek, quiet, gentle, and easily imposed on, submissive.
Read this synonyms.
Patient, long-suffering, forbearing, gentle, quiet, shy, peaceful, peaceable.
So check it out. You know what the meek is? Sheep. You know, sheep need a sheep herder, right? To protect them, right? Protect them what? From the wolves. You know, the meek is naive. The meek said, hey, I'm celebrating Christmas for my kids. Somebody run game on us. Go ahead, please.
One of the words for meek, like a lamb to the slaughter.
Like, see, that's what I'm talking about, please. Like a lamb to the slaughter. Blessed is the meek. Let's read that. Let's read that again, because it's gonna go with that scripture. It's gonna go with that. It's gonna go with that definition.
Blessed, Matthew chapter 5, verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Oh,
blessed is the meek. Blessed is the land of the slaughter, for they shall inherit the earth. No more slaying. They will inherit that earth. They don't have to think about the, you know what I mean? They don't have to think about the wolf anymore. Or the fox, that cunning fox. You know, like Donald Trump, like America, they're such a cunning, you know what I'm saying, hypocrisy nation. Read on.
Read on?
Yep.
Verse 6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled.
Oh man, you know, this is true right here, right? This is hardcore right here. Blessed are, say, Matthew chapter 5, verse 6. It said, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be full. You know what our people learned from our oppressor? when you talking righteousness to other brothers and sisters, right? When you get in some type of education to brothers and sisters, you know what our oppressor taught us? Yo, man, you can't eat no books. You know that's the same in the hood? Yeah, you smart, man, but you can't eat no books. What the hell do that mean? Somebody taught us wrong. You can't eat no books. You know, that's an insult, right? To a person who's trying to do right. To a person who's teaching another person the truth. And the person who do not want to hear the truth is say you cannot eat no books. See how disgusting that is? Why don't you feed that person who got the righteousness? Huh? If you got all the monies, why don't you feed that person who is teaching you how to be a good man, how to be a good brother, how to be a good son, how to forgive, you know what I'm saying, all those trespassing that your mother did to you,
right?
That your father did to you, that you know what I mean, that your aunt and your uncles did to you. Won't you feed him up so you could be right?
Right.
You know.
Oh God. Verse 7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy.
Say that again.
Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy.
Blessed are the merciful. You know our people need mercy, right?
That's right.
We will give our oppressor mercy, but we won't give our own kind mercy. You're a punk. You weak. If they think that you cannot fight back, you know what I mean? We're going to ask for mercy from them. See how disgusting that is, priest?
Right.
We acting like what? A heathen. We acting like another nation. We don't want to hear the trespass.
Right.
We don't want to bow down and bend the knee to the God's chosen people, to the righteous men who follow the Lord's statute commandments. We don't want to bend the knee to them.
That's right.
We don't want to be mercy to our own kind, but we will be mercy to our enemies. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to stand up for the 4th of July. We're going to stand up for the Star Spangled Banner. Every morning, we're going to send our children to the elementary school, and every morning, before class start in the elementary school, what is the protocol for the class to do? To do what? You remember? I remember. Okay.
You said pledge allegiance.
You say that again?
Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance. You know black folks were pledging allegiance to the flag in the 1950s. What about the 1960s? You know that was happening when it was kicking our backs in, but we were still doing this. You know who loved the Pledge of Allegiance? Jay-Z. He loved the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. You know who also loved the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? Snoop Doggy Dogg. Oh, 187 on a car. Him, that guy.
That's right.
You know who loved the Pledge of Allegiance on the flag? You know who loved it? Skip Gates. You know who also liked the Pledge of Allegiance on the flag on the law? Bad Bunny.
That's right.
You know who also loved the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag of America? Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump and Al Sharpton and Martin Luther King. Oh, they love it. They can't wait until that sound comes. And guaranteed they won't sit down when it happens. And guess who also? You ready for this? Ice Cube. You're going to stand up all day, every day, him and the sun. But meanwhile, they're going to look outside and watch dogs biting our brothers and sisters who protesting so they can have rights.
Right.
If they're doing the same thing now, they would have been doing the same thing back in the 60s. You know that, right?
Right.
That's what happened. That's what happened. If Malcolm X would have been walking down the block, they would have walked across the street. The same way that they do the ISUPK. When we walk down the block, they're gonna walk across the street. I'm not down with them. I can't step on this sign. On white Jesus, I got some bills to pay.
Right.
What happened to our moral compass? What happened to our honor? I gotta do an interview.
Right.
We became homeborn slaves. Matter of fact, Baba Kishar, go to that first scripture that we did. The ox nose and master career. Oh, wait, Israel don't consider. Oh, wait. Yeah, Isaiah, that's right. Sign Christ.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3.
Matter of fact, no, start for 2. The 2 gives you a little context.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me.
Oh, wait, they have rebelled against me. I have brought up the good, you know, some children, but they go against what I'm saying, and I'm trying to give them the world. I'm trying to give them the planet. But they rebel against me. We don't.
Verse 3. The ox doth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider.
We don't consider who we are, Yashala. We don't want to be God's people. We tell our people, yo, we God's people. Oh, no, we're not. Yo, we are anointed people of the Most High God. Oh, no, we're not. Who told us this? Donald Trump told me this. Tom Hanks told me this. The Christian Church, the Catholic Church told me this. I'm not God's chosen people. How dare you say that? That's spoken like a goddamn slave. Israel don't consider.
Right.
You go back to I probably got to do a part 2 to this. So go back to Matthew 5.
Matthew 5.
Yeah. Republican. Yeah, and you can read read
Matthew 5.
Obtain mercy. Yeah. Let's go there. Let's go to 8.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 8. Blessed are the pure in heart.
Go on.
For they shall see God.
Did say that again?
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Blessed are the pure in heart, and they shall see the Most High God, our power. Is God, hold on. Is God talking right now? Or is Jesus talking right now?
Christ.
Christ is talking, right? So do the people see God? Because remember, you cannot see the Most High God, right?
Right.
Can't see him. You will see the example. You will see the person who's on, you know what I'm saying? Who's following his father's instructions. His God's instructions. The pure-hearted will see the Most High God. Because you will be in power. Read on.
God. Verse 9.
I know that.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
Say that again.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
Read that scripture again, because this is for the ISUPK. This is what we do. Say that again.
Blessed are the peacemakers.
Blessed are the what?
Peacemakers.
Bloods and Crips. Say that again.
Peacemakers.
MS-13. Say that again.
Peacemakers.
You know what I'm saying? Yet say that again.
Peacemakers.
Read on.
For they shall see, for they shall be called the children of God.
They shall be called the children of God if you're a peacemaker. If we become peacemaker amongst our people, remember Christ is on the mountain with his 12 disciples.
Right.
Talking to Israelites. And said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. The peacemakers amongst our people. Right. Read on.
For they shall be called, verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Say that again.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake.
When you say, hey, sister, put some clothes on. Don't be looking like a whore on the streets. Yo, stop selling drugs to our own kind.
Right.
Stop doing drugs, period. Stop making a doctrine out of weed. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Read on.
For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
For theirs the kingdom of heaven. There's no weed in heaven.
Right.
There's no drugs in. There's no whoredom in heaven.
Right.
There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no sodomy, you know what I mean? Sodomites in heaven.
Right.
No LGBT in heaven. There's no man, you know what I mean? There's no, you know what I'm saying? Women who love women want to get pregnant, but do not, you know what I mean? And want to be with a straight man so they can have a baby.
Right.
You know that's going on. Remember I told you that?
Right.
That's going on right now. Straight men having sex with women who love other women so they can have babies. You see how disgusting that is? And the man had to cut the baby off like it was just nothing. This is how disgusting this place is.
Right.
But blessed are they which are persecuted when we talk like that.
Right.
We are persecuted when we talk righteousness' sake. For, you know what I mean? For there is the kingdom of heaven. Read on.
Okay. Verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake.
Go on.
Verse 12, rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
Wait, say that again.
Verse 12, rejoice and be exceeding glad.
Say rejoice, be happy, and be exceeding glad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go the extra mile of being glad because you are doing God's work. You are following the Lord's statute commandments. You are the hearers of when a brother come to you and you trespass against you. You trespass against him. You hear him. You look at your kind as who? God's anointed, God's people, Israelites. Be glad, exceed that. Read on. No. For great.
For great is your reward in heaven.
For great is your reward in heaven, because, oh man, yeah, I did something wrong to you. So, yeah, man, can you forgive me, please? You know.
For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
So now I'm going to stop right here, but I'm going to make a part 2 to this. I'm going to stop at the scripture, because the correlation with, you know what I'm saying, with Yahweh Shah Mashiach going to be talking about, you know what I'm saying, down at the down in the other scriptures in this book chapter and verse. So Baba Shah, you could take that down. That down right there. We're going to continue this later on. You know what I'm saying? Next week, Lord willing. Lord willing. So, you know what I'm saying? Shalom, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shabbat. Brothers, Shalom, Yahweh, Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar, Atham, Hashem, Yahweh, to the sisters. I'm preaching up to Paratasa out in Yonkers, New York, and this is the Israelite School of University Practical Knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Out of 1 West 126th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Junior Hahn. And since 1969, we've been teaching the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, Israelites, God's chosen. Think not that I am to destroy the law. We ain't come to destroy the law. This is what we're teaching our people. And you know what I'm saying? Next week, we're going to go into part 2 to understand who said this statement. And with that, I'm going to make sure you pay your Passover fees, which is with the Passover is April. What is it? I think it's April 4th. April 4th. But go to ISUPK.com, scroll down, and look for the Passover. It's the 57th Passover. 57th Passover, and priest and Commander Junior Yohana had commanded all Yasha Allah, all Israelite groups, all Israelite schools to come to the Lord's Passover in Houston, Texas. Go to ISUPK.com and look for the address for Houston, Texas, so all Israelite groups could come together under one umbrella. Under one umbrella, and that is the ISUPK. No more splinter groups, no more. We ain't gonna do it no more, because we want Yahweh Shah to come back so we can own the entire planet under the Lord's statutes and commandments. And with that, I'm gonna pass the class over. You two are. I'm gonna pass the class over to priest and officer 1000 and the water for letting me hold down your class.
Most High Christ.
Shalom.
Clap it up for the class. You. Most High Christ. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10 means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashwa, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, which will be Purim, which will be on February 20th. And also the Passover is coming up, which is on April 4th, which will be held in Texas. Make sure you go to ISUPK.com, which is our website there. You can pay your Passover fee. Make sure you look on the back of your bulletin board for further ISUPK updates. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf, and with that, men of Israel, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Amadia, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Rakatam. Yadibata, which means hands down. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Majim, which means to stand. Amadim Shabbat, Amadia, Barak, Yahweh Shema Rakatam Ba'ashem Yahushua. Yadibata, which means hands down. Class dismissed.